And even right now, we kind of touched on this right before we hit record. It's got to be hard. You're promoting this book now. It's about to come out. But the areas that you're talking about right now are dealing with a huge natural disaster, the LA fires.
Yes.
That's got to just wear on you a little bit because obviously you're going to be talking about this book a lot. How do you feel about doing this? Does this almost feel a little bit cathartic that you can talk about these wonderful things while something so bad is going on?
Well, it is very sad, more than sad, tragic, the loss of homes and some lives in the Altadena fire. That is the place of my childhood, the place of my father's childhood. It's a location in two of the essays, the one about my grandparents who were in Paris, and this is the home that they returned to. I guess, I think people didn't really know much about Pasadena or Altadena, and now they certainly do. And here I can fill in some lives that were lived there, and maybe that will help a little bit with the mourning process to have these places held up as important as communities, which of course the people living in them, they don't need to be told that, but the world may need to be told that. So much more attention is going to Pacific Palisades with all these, not that there's any comparison to be made, but, the rich and the famous, that's Pacific Palisades. Altadena is one of the last remaining middle-class communities, and it's, burned out. Can it be restored as that? Can those people find homes again where they had their homes? And, my grandparents' house, they built it in 1923 when there wasn't much up there. And I've been looking at photographs of it and I see how empty it was. That house seems to have survived. The flames skipped over it. It's not been in my family since the 1980s, but I don't know. I almost feel as if it stayed there because I wrote about it.
Maybe. We can either prove it or disprove it. Well, because especially it is really part of your book to the way you present the area, which is, quintessential American, that, as you said, middle class. And it's an important part of this, right, that, the Jonathan Jackson chapter where it's just, this is kind of part of America and this is what happened. It's not like it's some sort of super special area that had this happen and this happen. This is a place where any of these things could happen, that it looked a lot like the rest of America.
Yes, and that's what we need to know about all of our lives. It's a place, our lives are places where anything can happen and important things can happen, and we better be, watching so that we can be witness to those things.